you remember.
Wow.
It was a harder one, right?
Dang. So good, huh? I remember that, huh? So good, huh? Like, what the heck?
Okay, so
Woo.
do you know how it goes? I know we've never talked about it, right? I
Yeah.
only
Woo.
told you the name of the piece, and since you've done lots of the little waltzes, right? This would be like
What?
a bigger one. The E minor was pretty big, right? But this one is kind of more grander, right? And a
Wow.
bit more difficult, right? Because it's faster. Well, the E minor was fast too, but anyway,
Wow. So cool,
see
huh?
how much you can do.
Woohoo. Yeah. Woo.
like it?
Dang. Wow.
It's a happy waltz, isn't it?
Happy waltz.
We play so many that are minor, right? Like the E minor was minor, A minor, B minor, those were all my C sharp minor even, right? So we've done quite a lot of the minor ones. And then which one did we do that was major? A flat major, the farewell one, right? The one that sounds like goodbye. But even though it was a major key, it had a very sentimental quality about it, right? Uh, like I was saying, it's like a saying goodbye to somebody, right?
Wow.
And then what other major one did we do? Oh,
Oh my gosh.
the one that has a nickname,
Nickname.
the minute waltz, right? Which is the nickname. So that was a happy one too, but that was a short one, right? So anyway, this one being a E flat major, right? Definitely is a very joyful,
Wow.
grand, right? Brilliant kind of a sound, right?
Brilliant.
It's a very like imagine the fancy ballroom, right? People
Wow.
dressed up, right, in their best costume, and the whole place is glittered, right? Chandelier, diamonds, right? Shining, sparkles, sort of, imagine the kind of like the grandness of that place, right? With the staircase being all decked up, something like that, right? So it definitely has a very grand quality about it. So you capture the spirit of it for sure, right? Immediately it seemed very bright, right? Very bright and very upbeat. So it definitely has the right character. And again, I only talked about it, right? I don't know if you ever heard of this waltz before, right? Before I mentioned it. So I only ever mentioned it to you last week, right? Last Monday, no, Tuesday.
Wow.
Is it Tuesday? No,
Monday.
I get the dates confused. It's Tuesday my time, so it's Monday your time. So last Monday your time, right? I mentioned this piece to you, right, as a listening assignment
Oh my gosh. Wow.
to have something new to do, right? So it's only been 1 week again, and of course we know you have your shows, right,
Wow.
in Vegas, so you have to work for that, right, and rehearse and perform. So you couldn't have had, right, since I mentioned this piece to you, all that much time, right, to even listen to it, right, let alone practice it. Yet once again, right, you always get it done, right? The piece is there, right? You know what's going on, right? It's pretty amazing, right? Of course, my goal is to refine it, right? The playing is there, the skeleton, the framework is there, right? We just got to polish up the details, okay? And as I always say to every student, right? After we hear the piece, right, we have an idea of how it should go, and it's very tempting to try to match that ideal right away, right? We want to sound just like the recording right away.
Dang.
It's because it sounds amazing, right? But of course, it's not that easy, right? So we have to have the patience, and that's the hard part. We must have the patience to go slow and to practice it very slowly, so we can get around the keyboard, right, accurately, and not have mishaps, right, or unwanted slips, okay? So that's what we need to work on. And this is a typical piece again of Chopin, where repetition, right, is your friend. He likes repetition, right? He likes to repeat himself, and in this case he doesn't even mind simply drawing the repeat dots, right? So many sections are just plain repeated. He's like, let's just play this section again because I like it, right? But in this case, he'll have two different endings. So you'll repeat the section, but you'll end it differently, and then you'll move on to the next section. And then after a while, you're going to repeat it again, and then you're going to have a different ending, right, the second time, which takes you to the next section. But it's another typical example of how much he loves himself, right, and his own music. He's not afraid to repeat himself, okay? And what else is typical of Chopin's writing? Well, the different key in the middle, right? So that's kind of like his style. He'll have whatever key you start in, and then he'll go to a different key in the middle of the piece, and then he'll come back to the original key. What is unusual is, of course, we started out in E flat major, which has 3 flats, and then in the middle section, it goes to 5 flats. That's kind of adventurous, right? Most people would either add 1 flat or take 1 flat away, right? So if you add 1 flat, you should only have 4 flats, but he goes to 5 flats, right? So that's a bit unusual. And also they're both major key, right? Usually he would do a switch. So if the piece is in a minor key, then the middle part will be in major key, right? Or vice versa. Here, everything is major, right? So there's not even a sad section, right? Because it's this grand ball. Remember this grand, this grand ball. Everybody's just like in their best outfit, right? So no part of it, right, is sad. So that's a little unusual, right?
That's good.
Okay, well, there's so many little things going on, right? The piece is like almost, what do you call it? So it's like a patchwork, right? You have all these different sections and you just patch them together, right? Into this fancy big blanket. So in that case, right, we can almost work on this bit by bit. So why don't we work, because we usually go back to the beginning and, play from the beginning, right? But this piece is quite compartmentalized. It is possible to kind of work on each little bit on its own, right? And then reorganize it together. So let's work on this ending. So we have a scale, right? Now notice I'm going slow, right? I want you to play that E flat very, very quietly. And I want you to staccato it. So that final E flat should have a lift quality. It's better. So the E flat should not be loud, right? But I don't see you lift away, Kodi, right? So pick it up. He draws the E flat as a staccato. So we should pick it up, right? So da 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 pick up, 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 da 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 da. Now see what I mean? He loves himself, right? How many times do we play this? Right? It's almost ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gonna do it 8 times. Now the challenge is to do each and every single one of those 8 times, right? Quieter and quieter and quieter. So it should sound like you're disappearing into thin air, right? So is it possible? It's very hard, right? But you try, right? But that's why you don't want to hit. You must lilt. You must be up. Okay? Do not down. Right? The motion should be an up motion. Now, up motion from where? The wrist. Remember a long time ago, I was able to hold your wrist up in the air, right? So remember that feeling of being supported, right, on the wrist. Okay, so the wrist comes up, right? Now, what does that remind us of? What's another piece in E flat that you have played by Chopin? The Nocturne. Remember? Right? How does the Nocturne end again? It was this repeated thing, but the notes are different, of course. This Nocturne, right? Oh my goodness, my memory is getting bad, right?
Wow.
It will come to me if I see the music. I'm trying to find the similarity for you. Okay, here we go, right? This business, right? Remember the E flat nocturne start, right? This business repeats itself like crazy, right? Remember, right? So he likes to do that, right? He loves, right? Repetition. Repetition is his model, right? Repetition is his mantra. anything he likes, he will repeat it to death, right? He will recycle it until it can't possibly be recycled anymore. Okay, anyway, so back to what we were saying. Now, as he is repeating, right, the left hand, of course, is different, right? So it's more harder. Exactly. In the nocturne, you only have to worry about the right hand. The left hand changes. Yeah. So the left hand has to do E flat major chord, but different inversions of it. My iPad is very slow today. It goes swirl, 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 swirl. I don't know why. So sorry, but I cannot do anything right without it. So I went back to find the nocturne music.
Wow.
And now I have to come back to the waltz.
Wow.
Now it takes forever to
Dang.
load up. I think I need to get a new iPad. I was just saying to my daughter that this iPad that I'm using is older than she is. So she is 7. I got the iPad, the big iPad, before she was born. So it's about time to die on me. So I go to get a new iPad pretty soon.
Dang.
But it's served me well. So I love it. I have all my music on it.
Wow.
But it is definitely, I can tell, getting slower and slower and slower.
Wow. Slower and slower.
No, come on.
Come on.
Alright, got it. Okay, so we have, right? Now the good news is you don't have to change pedal, right? You can stay on the same pedal, right? Now, that is not quite as easy as it seems, right? So the first one, right? So we have root position, but only 3 notes. So then first inversion, 4 note, second inversion, 3 note, root position, 3 note, and then you would think it should just go up and up and up, right? But it doesn't. Once it gets back to root position, it goes back down, right? So then it's kind of random, right? So it's not that easy, right? Right? So let's play that part. Go. Okay, well, then after all the da-da-da-da-da, of course, we have our grand return, right? And we have a very, very magnificent, right? E flat major ending, right? That part is not a problem. That part you are fantastic, right? But I still need you to do this part better, right? You are become a little too fast, but it's not even, right? Da 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 da. Each of the 4 notes, da 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 da. See, that's even. There is a little break, right? But not a lot. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum, right? But they need to be separated, Kodi. You cannot hold on to this E flat. No, you cannot hold on to the E flat. You need to let go of the E flat. It's better. Yep. So the E flat needs to be the end. Da 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 dum of the idea. Da 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 dum. See, da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. E flat is the end. Okay. And then the scale. Well, remember I played it slowly earlier, right? Because I want it to be even, right? So can you show me the scale? the scale is not quite so predictable, right? We have to go down and then go back up, right? Right, so da 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 da. It's not just like continuously up. We need to know when to turn around, right? Okay, so then we have 3-note chord followed by 4-note chord and repeating, right? So right? So that's one idea, right? Now after the scale has ended, then right, it gets quieter and quieter. Okay? But we need to make the scale very even, right? I don't want any sort of glitches. I don't want any of that, right? So right? So whatever we have to do, which basically is slow, we should, right? Until we are even. Okay?
All right.
Oh, let's go not even, right? Or not perfect, right? You had a mistake on the D, right? And it's oh, there's a glitch, right? That's my point exactly, right? It's not as easy as it sounds, right? It sounds so effortless, right? When somebody plays it so well, it sounds so effortless. And we all want to sound like that. But in order to sound like that, we need to go through, right, the process of practicing slowly. And that's not easy, right? Oh, practice slow. It was better, right? But do you agree? It's still not quite 100%, right? Also, remember whatever you end up with, right? So your final speed should be not that different. You are sounding like different, right? So as soon as you start da 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 da, you have a different speed. It's too different. Let's not panic, right? Da 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 da. Don't do this. Don't do the da 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 quite so fast yet, okay? Because we're not doing the scale that fast right now. Because why? We're trying to be even. We are trying to be glitch free, okay? So again. See? Same speed, more or less, right? And then you can slow down and get quieter towards the end. Okay? Your turn. Okay. Well, so each time it is definitely better. So we're getting somewhere. Remember, I don't want you to hold on to the E flat, right? There is a dot there in the right hand, but not left hand. Feel free to hold on the left hand. You must let go of the right hand. Okay? Now, like I said, the pedal can stay. It's all this big tonic pedal, we call it, right? It's a pedal point. So in this case, we have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 measures of the tonic pedal, starting from here, right? Basically, everything is E flat major, right? Now, I let go of the pedal at the beginning of the scale, right? And then when do I reintroduce the pedal? Well, as it goes higher and higher, right, it becomes more forgiving. So didn't pedal, of course, the beginning of the scale, that would be ridiculous, right? So actually, when the chord comes, right, I half pedal it. I don't press it all the way down, but I definitely half pedal it. Right? And I think I do change, right? So when it gets to root position, I change the pedal, and then I just stay there. And then I stay there, and I still there. Right? So I just stay there, right, the whole entire time, basically. Right?
Nice.
Can you try that? Pedal it, half pedal it at least. Just to try. Pick up the E flat. Okay, it has improved. Okay, definitely improved. So, like I said, the very end of this business. So, right? So, the transition is quite seamless. It shouldn't feel like that is like a new idea, right? This, which gets repeated so many times, came from the scale, right? It was the last part of the scale, right? The scale was very long, right? So that's the end of the scale. And then he decided to repeat just the final part of the scale, right? Over and over. But it is not a new idea, okay? So therefore, it shouldn't sound crazy fast, right? It needs to be about the same speed as whatever you end up with, right? So whatever you end up with in terms of speed is how fast this is gonna be, see? And then you can be slower and slower, right? The smooth endo part. Smooth endo is die away. But shouldn't be getting any more faster, okay? And not like uncontrollably at least, right? The scale, of course, should, right? Right? If you can, without having a glitch, right? The scale can have an accelerando, but only if you're glitch free, okay? If you get stuck, then you're not ready to go fast yet, okay? All right, so that's that section. So before this section, right, what do we have? We have the grand return, basically, right, of, right, this business, right? So basically, our a grand version of it, right? So let's play this part. Right? This part, just the right hand first, right? You see what I'm talking about? Go. Just the right hand. Good. Okay. Keep going. Right? Oh, there's a chord, right? So there's a harmony first, right? C flat first, and then and then it becomes C natural, and then right, and then becomes the C flat again.
Wow.
Now it's a little hard to play that with repeated pinky. Right? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, right? Something like that, right? Just don't use the same finger, right? Using it over and over is gonna feel very clumsy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Good. Oh, what did you do there? Can you do that part for me again? Okay, so I don't know what finger you use. For me, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is gonna be very hard, right? To be accurate, because opening this finger to 3 is very hard to do correctly when it's fast. So what I do is I do 5, 4, 2, 1, right? Because that's very countable. I just cross over to find the yeah. So I just cross my second finger over to find the B flat, right? Yeah, like I said, if I do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, my third finger is gonna suffer, right? It's probably gonna play a role. And then da 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 da. Okay, now go to C natural. Right? So the first time was C flat, now it's C natural, right? And I also do the 5, 4, 2, 1 cross finger. Good. And then C flat again, right? Now this one I do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Because it's a small interval. And then now this one I do the crossover. 5, 4, 2, 1, 2. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2. Yep. Yep. I very seldom, if ever, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So I always try to finish the chord, right? 5, 3, 2, 1 or 5, 4, 2, 1, and then the extra note I cross over, right? Right? For me, that's easier. And then so what finger do you use there?
Wow.
Oh, see, it's not so efficient, right? If it's efficient, you won't mess up because it's not that hard, right? Sometimes it's truly very difficult and only practice will make it better, right? In this case, if you have good fingering, it's not that hard. So what's good fingering? 4, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1. No, 4, 4, 2, because that's obvious, right? 4, 2, because that's a skip, and then 5, 3, 2, 1, because that's our diminished seventh chord again. 4, 2, 4, 2, right? G natural. 4, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1. Now, you may think, well, why change the finger? Oh, because it's different pattern, right? That's a group. That's a group. So 4, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then you just need to remember that because you do it again in the next octave, right? Now get to 4. So get to 4. Get to 4. Get to 4. Now it doesn't matter if you are breaking because you have pedal, right? You're gonna pedal that whole thing anyway. You're not gonna lose the legato. So don't try to do the legato with your hand. You are still trying to do the legato with your hand. So 4, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1. Jump up. Right? You finish the group. Start again on 4. Alright, I know now. Because you need a point of reference, right? Coming up, coming back down is for you. It's taking a bigger risk, right? Because you don't see the keys. So I can now see why you try to turn. All right. So if you turn, it's possible, right? So you just have to turn to 4 again, right? 4. So there's a little gap, right? Turn to 4, turn to 4, turn to 4. Yeah, it could work, right? For me, it's easier if I slightly staccato this note and land down this note. Staccato this note, land down this note. Staccato, land down this note. That's easier for me. For you, turning gives you more sense of security. That's fine. They could both work. Okay? Yes, the point is to get to the C flat, right, with 4. Now, if you get to 3, which I see you try to do, Is that possible? I guess. It's technically easier. Then you have to still open the second finger to A flat, but no matter what, you should do 5 here. Okay, that group I still want 5, 3, 2, 1. I still think that's the easiest. So, diminished 7th, do 5, 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Okay, so there you go. Okay, the point is that brilliance, right? In order to achieve the brilliance that we want, we cannot afford to be stuck in the middle. Okay, okay. So then let's go back to the left hand. Again, we have a very typical waltz accompaniment. Except it's grander, right? In the beginning of the piece, we have single note in the bottom. Now we have octave followed by 4 notes, right? Followed by 4 notes. Octave followed by 4 notes. Octave followed by 4 notes. Octave followed by 4 notes. Now only 3 here, but most of them have 4 notes. This one has 3. This one has 3. There's 3. Now back to single note, right? Single note, single note, single note. So he's kind of thinning it down, right? But again, we have this repeated E flat. So really the tonic pedal was even longer, right? Remember earlier I counted how many measures you have the tonic pedal, but it's actually longer than what I said, right? Because it started even way back. Big octave. Okay, so let's put it together slowly, right? Sorry, right? My mistake. Right? Now notice here is different from the beginning. Here the snap is on the third beat. 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's very typical of the waltz, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, right? So the accent is on 1. The beginning of the piece wasn't so. Yeah. We'll talk about the beginning yet. Here it's actually very predictable. It's just whatever you normally would do, right, as a waltz. So you land always downbeat on number 1. Right? That is definitely what the typical waltz does, right? Right? So 1 always has accent. 1 has accent. 1 has accent. 1 has accent. 1. 1, right? 1. 1. 1. 1. Right? So accent is on 1 all the time, right? Right? Okay, so let's break that into two sections. So let's do this section first. Go. Sort of. First. C flat. Yeah. Okay, we'll deal with this in a second, right? So let's go back to this. Now remember, each of them, right, has a lot of notes, right? We really need to practice until we are not like hesitating, right? I mean, I even hesitate too, right? Because I haven't played in a while, right? This particular piece, right? But that's what we want to do, right? We want to practice each of these measures so we are not hesitating every 5 seconds, right? Or every 0.5 of a second, I should say. So let's try it again. And of course, it's not all that easy because the left hand has to do a lot of traveling, right? You have to get back down after you play a chord, right? And where's the chord? Oh, there's a bit of a pattern, right? And then, so basically, 4 measure phrase, right? our right hand, and then you kind of want to bring out the inner part, right? So there's a kind of like right in the middle part, yes, right, and then okay. So let's do the section again.
Yeah.
Oh, that one is not quite right, right? So let's look at the relationship G natural and then G flat, right? So chromatic difference, right? First time is G natural, second time is G flat, right? And then F natural, right?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. Well, let's listen again. Right? So it's like a sequence, basically. Yeah, that's better. Yep, that was more accurate. Right? Right? That's a hard one to remember.
Nice.
So close, right? You were almost 100%, but this final one, right? We didn't quite get. Let's try again. Oh, see, I missed that final one too. So, what do I have to do? I have to practice.
Wow.
Yeah, you got better. Can we also just be consistent with our choice of finger? So can we do 2, 3, and then 2, 4? 2, 3, 2, 4. 2, 3, 2, 4 every time, right? So octave followed by 2 and 3. See, right?
Nice.
Something wrong. Okay, it's better every time, right? But we want to play it until we are never ever going to have anxiety over this group, right? And I can't say that yet, so I would do it again. Are you sure? Exactly. That third one is a tricky one, right?
Wow.
So close, right? It's a chromatic going down, right? Yeah. Correct. Move on. Okay. So now let's work on these four, right? So typical 4 major phrases, right? So okay, let's analyze what's going on. Go down, right? You have 3 notes followed by the melody, and then 2 note, right? And the da-da-dum is always in the middle part. Yeah, left hand. Somewhat unpredictable, right? You have 4 note chord, 3 note chord, 4 note chord, 3 note chord, changing harmony, right? The problem with the chord, of course, is we know we want an E flat major chord. But which inversion is it? Is it the root position, the first inversion, second inversion? How many notes are in there, right? So that's kind of what's hard. Sometimes it's 4 notes inside 3, right? And sometimes it's a different inversion. So again, that is all the reason why we practice. Okay, turn. Okay, you're getting better, but you see how you sometimes had to redo something because you're not quite sure what's the next one, and you realize you lost the rhythm, right? So what do? Lower, right? So that we don't have to You're getting close, right? But this gave you a little problem, right? That group, right? Gave you a little trouble. So we do again, right? You almost have to memorize this piece in one time. Yeah. Getting better, okay? So let's combine it with the first part. Remember? See, I forgot this one already. Combine it. Again, this was such a hard one. Oh, this is close. Yeah. You see what I mean, Kodi, right? So because you absolutely more or less can play it already, right? Our point is tidying up, right? Our point is polishing and refining it. And that can only happen, like I said, with a tremendous amount of patience and repeating each section, right? Until I did it that time, right? Until it's glitch free. Now I did it. It was slow. Oh, missed. Okay, it was better. You missed 1, right? Instead of 10. There was only 1, right? So I did it too, but it was ridiculously slow. But that's okay. That is the starting point, right? I do it slow, but I have no glitch, right? I have no random hesitation, right? And then I try to just a tiny bit. Kodi, so now you know what I mean, right? By having to repeatedly play each 4 measure phrase over and over and over, right? And that is how we will get that refinement, okay? Thank you for working hard, as you always do, okay? And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.